to look for SNT materials for our research paper.
And it's our first time here at the DOST STII library.
That's okay. You can easily navigate the DOST STII library through the DOST STII Star Library app or the Science and Technology Augmented Reality Library app.
Really? That sounds cool. Can you tell us more about it? It is an augmented reality app, a fun and interactive way to help you navigate the DOST STII library.
There are markers within the library embedded with augmented reality. So when a smartphone installed with the Star Library app is used, there will either be a text, an audio, or video pop-out telling you about that part of the library. This app will help and guide the user while inside the library.
Wow, the app definitely sounds useful and fun. But is it easy to use?
Of course, the app's interface is user-friendly and attractive, thanks to Smarty the mascot.
What's more fun is that it has a gaming feature that encourages users to visit the DOST STII library and read more books. That feature is perfect for us.
Indeed! The Star Library app features an interactive tour within the library.
The app will be very helpful for first-time DOST STII library users like me because it will lessen navigation time of locating a specific area of the library.
I do agree, as it will also cater to the growing number of on-site DOST STII library visitors.
Now this will definitely help us save time in finding SNT materials for our research paper. We can finish and submit our paper earlier.
Oh, by the way, where can I download the app?
You can download the Star Library app at the Google Play Store for free.
For free? Wow! Thanks for recommending this app.
Now let's use it to navigate through the Filipiniana unit first, then proceed to the General Reference and Foreign Titles unit.
So, how did you find the Star Library app? Oh, it was very helpful and we easily found the SNT materials that we needed. That's great. With the Star Library app, we aim to make your library visit the most enjoyable, engaging experience.
Download the Star Library app now and visit us here at DOST STII Library.
Tour the library and visit all the markers, then answer the trivia that will pop out and get a chance to win DOST STII library tokens.
Like, follow, or contact us through our social media pages, email, or phone numbers as seen on your screen.
As a researcher, I realized that there's actually limited awareness on resources for Filipiniana research articles and biobibliographies of Filipino experts and scientists. But thanks to DOST STII, researchers like me don't have to worry about accessing such reference materials anymore. Introducing the Philippine Science and Technology Abstracts, or PSTA, and the Specialized Philippine Enterprise Reference of Experts and Scientists, or SPHERES. Published twice a year, PSTA and SPHERES are open access online publications of DOST STII. PSTA aims to put Filipiniana research articles in the spotlight, while SPHERES highlights the latest research project of Filipino experts and scientists. DOST STII desires to make these publications accessible to a wider audience. That's why PSTA and SPHERES are downloadable for free. This means users can access and download PSTA and SPHERES publications anytime, anywhere. Isn't it great? PSTA and SPHERES are not only for researchers like me, but also for students, teachers, and professionals. If you're a student or a teacher looking for Filipiniana research studies, then the PSTA publication is the one for you. To download the latest issue of PSTA, simply scan the QR code or visit the link seen on your screens. You may also access previous issues at the link shown below. On the other hand, students or researchers like me looking for experts and scientists of the Philippines on the different S&T fields may check out the Spheres publication. To access the latest issue of Spheres, simply visit spheres.dost.gov.ph. Previous issues may also be accessed through their website. With PSTA and Spheres, researching is made easier and better thanks to DOST STII. They're definitely the go-to references for Filipiniana research studies and biobibliographies of experts and scientists of the Philippines on SNT. Access and download PSTA and Spheres now. Like their Facebook or contact them through email as seen on your screens.
Ayan. Good morning, everyone. We will now start our webinar session. May I request everyone to rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed immediately by the doxology. And once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, participants and guests from all around the Philippines to this webinar on taking the path of innovation towards future-proof learning in partnership with the Benita and Catalino Yap Foundation, or BCYF, in celebration of the 2024 Philippine Innovation Month with the theme, Innovation, a Necessary Ingredient for National Development. Just to give you an overview of the Philippine Innovation Month, the Philippine Innovation Month was initiated by BCYF. This is a flagship event dedicated to showcasing the pivotal role of innovation in social development recognized by Presidential Proclamation Number 172, Series of 2017 in Malacañang, and tracing its roots back to the Philippine Innovation Week in 2014. PIM evolved or has evolved to encompass various sectors including business, professions, public service, and education, playing a vital role in nation building. I am Miss Irene Alice Brillo, Science Research Specialist 2 of the DOST Science and Technology Information Institute, your moderator. So this webinar has been set to achieve the following objectives. First, gain a better understanding and knowledge of how to build an e-library for the school community. And second, discover educational resources available on the internet. I believe that we all know that not all information in the internet is true or facts. So with this webinar, we hope to help you discern the resources that you can use. As mentioned by assorted authors, the first point of wisdom is to discern that which is false. The second, to know that which is true. Now, for a smooth flow of our program, please be guided of the following house rules. One, this hybrid session or this webinar session is being recorded for documentation purposes, and the link to the recordings will be sent to your email along with your e-certificate. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the recordings of our previous webinars. Two, in asking your questions, for those who are in the Zoom, please use the Q&A chat box. And for our FB Live participants, please use the comment box. Your questions will be answered during the Q&A portion. You may post your questions while the presentations of our speakers are ongoing. Three, the DOST STII will provide an e-certificate of participation to all participants who successfully registered and accomplished the evaluation form that will be shown at the latter part of this webinar. The e-certificate will be sent to the email address you provided in the evaluation form on or before March 25, 2024. Please be advised that DOST STI Library will not be sending links of the evaluation via FB Messenger or email. And finally, remember to be polite, pay attention, and actively participate. At the latter part of this webinar, we will be asking questions that you can answer to win DOST STII souvenir items. So do you like that? Well, I hope you do. At this point, to formally welcome everyone in this webinar, let us watch this video message from the director of the DOST STII, Mr. Richard P. Burgas.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar in celebration of the 2024 Philippine Innovation Month. Thanks to our partners from the Benita and Catalino Yap Foundation, in particular our good friend Tony Yap, and the members of his group, we're able to bring to you new insights, maybe new discoveries about how to future-proof your learning. In fact, our topic for today is taking the path of innovation towards future-proof learning. And we will have two experts talking about innovate to educate, building a 21st century e-library for your school community, and secondly, digital gold mines, discovering education resources on the internet. When I was in grade 5, I was introduced formally into the public library system. I got my first library card, and that for me represented the key to opening up a storehouse of knowledge and inspiration and vicarious experiences that I got from reading books. That also started a lifelong process of educating myself and continuously learning from the experiences and wisdom of others. Now, the webinar aims to provide participants with knowledge on how to build an e-library for their school community, and also to discover many educational resources on the internet that are now made available to us. Okay, so we are going to be joined by two experts, namely Mr. Chito Angeles, who is the college librarian and head of the Information Technology Division of the University of the Philippines in Diliman, as well as Ms. Jennifer Di Masaka, Chief of the Bibliographic Services Division of the National Library of the Philippines, who will share with us their expertise on the said topics. So for those of you who are attending in this webinar, particularly the librarians among you, as well as those who are just starting to build up their e-library resources for your school community, this should be a very productive webinar, and I hope you take away a lot of good insights, a lot of good practices that can really push you towards future-proofing the learning environment in your schools. So enjoy, and thank you very much for participating in this webinar.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sir Richard, for that very warm welcome and message. Now, before we proceed, allow me to greet you all. Ayan, short shout out lang muna tayo. So, as of today, we have 468 FB Live participants. Ayan. So, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And ayan, sa Zoom naman, mukhang full na tayo. So we have 516 in the Zoom. Ayan, so thank you so much everyone for taking the time to join us this morning. Kasama din po natin sa Zoom as panelist yung ating mga members ng DOST Signet. Ayan, so once again, good morning everyone. Ayan, shout out sa Bulacan area, ayan, sa mga taga Dasma, from Norzagaray College Library, from San Jose del Monte, ayan, painitin lang muna natin ng umaga. Okay, from STI West Negros University, from MMDA, from BPSU Balanga Bataan, okay, from Camarines Norte, from Tangob City Global College, Misamis Oriental Provincial Library, NU MOA, San Jose del Monte. We also have from Quirino State University, Cabarugis Campus. We have from Santiago, Isabela, from La Trinidad, Benguet. Yay, pahingi ng strawberry. Okay. Ayan, shout out from Taguig habang nagkakape. Okay, so I hope nakapagkape na kayo, and kung hindi pa po kayo nakapagkape, magkape na po kayo ngayon. Ayan, bago natin tawagin ang ating unang speaker para ready to listen na kayo. Okay? Ayan, so for those who are asking for attendance, the evaluation form later will serve as your attendance. Okay po? Ayan, okay, so sabi ni Daniel Romero, hey, we are ready. Okay, and since you are ready, let me introduce to you our first resource speaker. So our first resource speaker is currently the head of the Information Technology Division, University Library of UP Diliman. He is also currently pursuing his doctorate degree in Information Technology in De La Salle University, Manila. His specializations include Information Systems Development, Digital Library Systems, Web Technologies, and Database Design and Management. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Chito and Angeles. Sir Chito.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much for that kind introduction. So, can I share my screen? Okay, so yeah, the topic that was assigned to me is on building a 21st century e-library for your school community. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share my knowledge about building e-libraries. I was fortunate to be involved in various projects um, in involving the development of electronic libraries in the country, in particular the Philippine e-library, which is I would say the longest running electronic library in the country. Okay, so I will start my presentation by giving some uh, brief definitions of an electronic library or an e-library. So I'm sure you already have an idea of what an electronic library is. And I'm sure you have already used an e-library. So in this presentation, I will try to explain further the concept of an e-library, and especially now that the term e-library has actually evolved from the traditional definition or notion of an electronic library. So many years back, I would say that the e-library today is very far uh, from the original uh, definition or notion of an e-library. It has actually transformed a lot, has evolved because of several innovations and advances in technology. And also by the way we actually use or utilize electronic libraries. So when we talk about e-library, usually there are several terms or concepts that come into mind, or even if you try to search for its definition, you will encounter various terms and concepts that describe an e-library. For instance, it is sometimes called a digital library, a virtual library, okay, an online library, a digital repository, an internet library, and sometimes it's referred to as a gateway or a portal. And even the concept of libraries without walls has been associated with e-libraries. So using these concepts or definitions, do you think all of them are still true, and that it actually describes the concept of a 21st century e-library? So in the succeeding slides, I will try to explain further which of these concepts or definitions are actually true or still apply to the concept or the definition of an electronic library. So there are actually some misconceptions about e-libraries. Okay, for instance, the e-library or the internet is said to be or is believed to be an e-library. Or sometimes people just say, if you have access to the internet or the World Wide Web, then you have an e-library. In fact, many years back when I was able to go around the different libraries in the country. Some libraries, in particular public libraries or school libraries, they usually showcase their library as an e-library. No, pero upon checking, when I visited the e-library, what I saw actually are computers with internet access, and they are actually being called an e-library. So pag merong computer na and the computers have access to the internet, it's already called an e-library because it can access resources from the internet, which is actually a misconception. The resources found on the internet, as you know, are not 100% authoritative, right? So everyone can publish information on the internet. So locating information on the internet remains highly inefficient, especially for unfamiliar users. So you have to be familiar with the tools and which resources to use, which websites to consult to be able to get authoritative information resources. So e-libraries are actually managed by professionals who understand information needs and uses. So for instance, librarians or information professionals who are managing e-libraries are trained to organize, to select the appropriate resources, to describe the resources using metadata. Okay. And then another misconception is that an e-library is usually called a library without walls. Okay, so we usually hear this phrase, library without walls. But in fact, an e-library is technologically bound or also legally bound. No? So meaning the primary sources or information resources that are usually accessible or that are accessible in an e-library require some subscription or some allow pay-per-view access. So hindi naman free, no? So not all the resources in an e-library can be free. So depende. Of course, if your institution, for instance, is subscribed to an electronic database or an electronic journal. So what we're saying is there are some boundaries in terms of the content that are accessible to the users, the technology or the platform being used to access the resources, and of course, in terms of legal aspects, of course, copyright could be an issue and could limit the use and the dissemination of resources available in an electronic library. Okay. Next, an e-library is said to be cheaper or believed to be cheaper to implement, when in fact putting up an e-library may require significant resources, specifically for the hardware, acquisition of the hardware, the software, or the use of infrastructure, and even subscription cost if you are going to subscribe to electronic databases or electronic journals as part or to become part of your electronic library. Okay, next is that digital library and e-library mean the same. So in fact, the term e-library and digital library are being used interchangeably. So, but the fact is that digital libraries are focused more on the collection of digital objects and the management of these digital resources, from the curation and the indexing, including the preservation of the digital objects in the digital library. On the other hand, an e-library includes the digital collections, but in addition, it also includes the infrastructure, no? Such as, for instance, the hardware used to access the digital resources and the software platform, okay, as well as the different services provided by the libraries to be able to utilize the resources available in an electronic library. So marami siyang components, no? And to give you more definition or facts about e-libraries of the 21st century, resources in a digital library are usually maintained or managed by a single institution or organization. So in this case, the institutional repositories, no? Institutional repositories are actually digital libraries, except the content or the collection that it houses are usually the publications of the specific institution. Okay. On the other hand, resources in an e-library may include digital resources hosted or maintained by other organizations, but are accessible to the e-library users. So in this case, the e-library serves as a gateway to other information resources. So sa digital library, it's just confined. The resources are confined usually into a single organization or institution who is managing the digital library system. Whereas in an e-library, you can access different resources hosted by other institutions. Okay. Furthermore, an e-library can provide a single search interface and retrieve various resources from different databases, whether subscribed or available on open access. So you can achieve this using a discovery software. So this is another component that I'll be discussing later. Discovery software or discovery service applications. So you can use this software to search multiple resources from different databases, no? Either subscribe or available on open source. Okay, so why do we need to build an e-library? Okay, first and foremost, of course, to provide enhanced and more convenient access to library resources. So especially during the pandemic, yung e-library has been very useful for users. No, I don't know if you have experienced that in your libraries, but in UP Diliman, for instance, we have noticed an increase of library users availing resources online. Syempre, hindi pwedeng magpunta physically in the library. So, users have to access the resources online. And the good thing is that we are actually prepared for that. And we were not really surprised, no? When the pandemic started and that the libraries have closed but we remain open in the sense that our libraries are accessible online. So because we have the resources, we have the infrastructure, we have the platforms ready to support the research needs of our users. Okay, another major reason is to eliminate or minimize the need to go to the physical library. So as I've said, during the pandemic, that was very true. But even now that tapos na yung pandemic, but still, some users have become accustomed to using the online resources rather than going to the libraries na physically. So mas preferred na nila that they can access the information resources using online tools. And syempre, we build an e-library to support the online learning and teaching. So yung mga students natin ngayon are actually more accustomed, or they prefer more to read online, no, than to read the print resources. No? So I think nagkaroon na ng change talaga in the way students learn. They prefer to use resources available online. So that is why malilesen talaga yung users visiting the libraries physically. Okay, of course, ganun din sa part ng teachers, no? They should be well aware of the available resources that they can get from the e-libraries and how to use or utilize the tools available by the e-libraries. And then lastly is to serve as a gateway to more information resources available from various databases. So as I have described earlier, hindi lang nalilimit dun sa kung anong available resources in the library, meaning whether it's physical or digital. If you have an e-library, you can actually provide resources available from other databases or other institutions through your e-library. And you can do that by simply providing links, no, to the resources found elsewhere. So meron na tayong link data, which is a popular concept in e-libraries or digital libraries. So we are able to connect with other resources that are related to the resources that we are using. So mas lumalawak yung scope of an e-library if it is not confined with what is available in just a single library. So nag-widen yung scope or the resources available to our users. Okay, so here are the major components of an electronic library. So mention ko na about resources, no? Services and technological infrastructure, but I will discuss further the individual components. So first, we go to resources. So ano ba yung resources available in an electronic library? So syempre, first and foremost, the local digital collections. So whether these are digitized materials from print converted into digital form, or multimedia, so those analog resources like the videotapes that have been converted to digital media. So they also undergo digitization process. And in addition, the born digital documents or digital media files. So born digital meaning those that were produced using software, so like Word documents. No? And for digital media files, for instance, those images that have been produced using, for instance, a digital SLR camera. So these are born digital files, and they can be part of the local digital collection. So your e-library can include the digital collections that are available to the library. Second, you can expand your e-library by including open access e-resources. So these resources are available for free from different websites. They are downloadable, full text. You just have to pick the right or the appropriate resources for your users. And also, if you have subscriptions to e-journals or e-databases, whether subject specific or multidisciplinary, you can also expand your e-library to include subscribe e-resources. So usually, yun na yung trend ngayon, no? We subscribe to e-resources, no, to be able to expand the collections of our libraries. And lastly is the open educational resources, or OER. These are educational resources that have been collected, curated by academic institutions and made available to others for free. So I believe the next speaker will be discussing more on OER. So skip ko na yung part na yan. Okay. For instance, ito yung open access e-resources which has been published in our website. So meron kaming list of open access databases that we recommend to our users. So naka-publish yan dun sa website. Of course, the Philippine e-library, which is collaborative project of 5 agencies of the government. So isa ito sa mga open access din, no? So resources uploaded are freely available and downloadable to all users. So currently it does not require any sign in. So even if you don't register, you can actually download the resources. And there will be a new interface or version of the Philippine e-Lib soon. So it's currently being finalized. No? So that would be version number 3 already, kasi yung current is version number 2. So we're hoping it will be released soon. Okay, so I've mentioned about online subscription. So sa UP Diliman, we have, or sa UP, in general, UP system, we have a lot of subscribe e-resources, e-journals, e-databases. I think over, ano na ngayon, I'm not sure about the figures, but marami po. We have invested in subscribing to e-resources, especially during the pandemic. Kasi nga, there's no way for users to visit the library. So we have to expand our resources by subscribing to mostly foreign electronic databases or electronic journals. So napakarami ng resources, and we are very happy for the support of the administration to the library. Okay, let's talk about e-library services. So kanina yung resources. Okay, 21st century e-library should have these services. Okay, kung meron kayong physical library but you have a few resources available physically, so you can actually provide access to online resources. So ilan sa mga services na pwedeng i-provide, for instance, yung laptop circulation or laptop lending. No? So actually naging trend din ito in libraries, no, that users just borrow laptop, no, or other devices like tablets. Pero in our experience, hindi masyadong gamitin yung tablets. So the students prefer to use laptops, no, for doing research or doing their schoolwork in the library. So isang service that you can provide is to let the students or your library users borrow laptops, no, for room use, or even for pwede rin siyang home use, so they can be taken out of the library. Of course, there are policies dyan. And then bring your own device. So many of the users now bring their own laptops, tablets, or even the smartphones, and they use it to access resources available in the library. So ang kailangan nyo lang is to provide a good Wi-Fi access point, so a good connection to the internet, and usually the users will just bring their own devices. Okay. Next is ebook lending. So this also has become very popular during the pandemic because we cannot visit the library physically. So yung ebook lending became popular. So there are different platforms used and different approaches in ebook lending. So for instance, if you subscribe to an ebook or ebook platform, usually they allow you to read an ebook for a certain period, for instance, 7 days or 14 days or 30 days, depende dun sa policies, no? And then using digital rights management to control the access to the e-resources, so that for instance, after nung period nung loan, like for instance 14 days, automatic mawawala yung access mo dun sa digital resource, no? So yung isang example niyan is using the Adobe Digital Editions, which is the software used to view the ebook na downloaded from a database. So the access will expire after a certain period, no? So hindi mo na ma-access, to make it available to other users. Ideal yan because unlike sa physical book, merong overdue, no? But using the ebook lending, wala nang overdue because automatic marireturn siya dun sa borrower. Marireturn ng borrower dun sa system, no? Or the system will simply cut off access to the resource after the expiration, no, of the loan period. And then another approach is the controlled digital lending. This one is ideal for libraries with limited print collections, no? So through digitization, so meaning you digitize your print collection and make them available and a lending system, a controlled lending system, no? So you can allow the digital versions of the print to be borrowed by users, no, by your patrons, with the or applying the policy similar to that in the print version. So ibig sabihin, if you have only 2 copies of the print, you can only lend the 2 copies in digital form. So pag nahiram na yung dalawang digital form, hindi mo na pwedeng ipahiram yung print version mo because it's already on loan, no, the digital version. So, same concept dun sa ebook, nag-expire siya after some period. So let's say in your regular circulation, for a 2-week book, ganun din, no? Sa controlled digital lending, you can set it like after 2 weeks, it will expire. So automatic mare-return yon sa system and it will become available for other users to borrow. So that is the concept of the controlled digital lending. And this is already being practiced by many libraries abroad, except that in the Philippines, hindi pa tayo nag-a-adapt, no? Medyo late tayong adapters ng technology, but hopefully in a few years time, this will become popular and more libraries will adopt this concept. And hopefully this will solve yung limitation nga of copies, limited access, and of course yung effort of going to the library physically to borrow books. So even if you're not on campus or in the library, you can still borrow online. Okay. Next is virtual reference services. So your library should also offer virtual reference services. So typically, you accept requests for document delivery. So instead of the users, for instance, accessing specific resources, kung meron silang preferred subject, no, or specific resource then that they can request, then the library personnel can simply scan, for instance, selected or a few pages of a book and then send it via email or through file sharing online. So that is one way that you can provide virtual reference services, no, document delivery. So we do that in UP Diliman, particularly during the pandemic, no, so that the users do not have to go to the library physically. And next is it's also important to train, you know, and empower our users. So user education is a service that should be provided by the library to be able to educate our users and teach them how to use the different tools, the resources available in our library. So para ma-maximize yung use, the users have to be familiar on how to use your different platforms, no? So hindi dapat spoon feeding lahat. Like when they request, you just give the resource. So you also provide user education services, no? Information literacy, yung tawag natin dyan. So we try to orient our users so they can maximize the use of resources. Okay, let's move on to the third component, the technological infrastructure. Okay, so in an e-library, a 21st century e-library, you should be able to provide different platforms to be able to enhance access to your resources. So number one is discovery services. So maraming discovery services available. Of course, yung mga commercial like EBSCO EDS, Primo, Summon, WorldCat Discovery. So these are search engines that can search multiple databases and consolidate the results in one interface. So ang advantage niyan is that you don't have to visit individual websites, no, or yung databases, especially if you have multiple subscriptions. You just need the discovery service to search all of your resources or e-resources, subscribe or open source or open access na accessible sa iyo. So again, it will simplify the search. You don't have to memorize the URLs of the different databases, and you can consolidate the results in just one interface. So it's easier for the users. Okay. Next is Electronic Resources Management System, or ERM. Okay. ERM has new types of records, including contact, license, and electronic resource records designed to track information about electronic resources and license terms. Okay, if you have multiple subscriptions, an ERM is ideal to help you manage your subscription, including yung renewal, monitoring, adding or removing titles in your electronic collection. So an ERM can be part of a bigger system like a library services platform, or it can be a standalone system that your library can adopt or use to manage your electronic resources. Okay. Next is remote access platform. Yan, very important ito to be able to allow your users to access your subscribed e-resources even if they are not within the campus or not inside your library. No? So using remote access platform, they can access from their homes or anywhere outside the institution or the library. So again, during the pandemic, ito yung napakalaking naging tulong sa amin, sa users, and they are very thankful because we provided them with the platform to access all our subscribed resources, from the comfort of their own homes. And we had this even before nag-start yung lockdown. So it's very timely because na-access na nila without going to the library. So very, very useful for our researchers, our students, our faculty members. So this is really a recommended solution. So maraming options. Currently, we are using the Open Athens. Yung interface ay nandito sa right side. Currently, we have 143 resources dyan. So most of them are subscribed e-resources. So using just one platform, you can actually organize all your e-resources. And at the same time, naka-integrate din siya into a discovery service like this one, the EBSCO Discovery Service. So meaning you can just enter keywords there and it will search all the available databases or e-journals that your institution is currently subscribed to. So very convenient for the users if you provide them with remote access platform. Dati kasi ang trend is through IP-based, IP authentication. So meaning you can access the resources only if you are within the campus or you are connected to the campus network. So it's the IP address is being monitored to be able to authorize access to users. But through remote access platforms, hindi na kailangan ng IP address. Usually they implement just a single sign-on using your official email. And if you are signed in, automatic you have access to all the subscribed e-resources. So you don't have to log in every time you open a different platform or a different e-database. Next, what are the issues and challenges of building a 21st century e-library? So maraming issues and challenges, no? But we'll start with some policy changes. If you plan to implement an e-library, you have to review your existing collection development policies. So meaning you have to prioritize, for instance, the acquisition of electronic resources, no? As against the print. So in many libraries, they adopt certain policy in terms of the ratio of the print versus the electronic. So yung iba mas marami na talaga yung electronic, like 70% electronic and 30% na lang yung print, no? And in our case, for instance, we adopted yung e-first policy na tinatawag. Okay, e-first policy meaning if a resource is available in electronic format, so we acquire the electronic format. Kung wala, that is the time we acquire the print version. So that is the e-first policy. Okay, so you have to also develop your e-resources collection. So meaning dadagdagan mo siya by acquiring or subscribing to electronic resources, no? So if you want quality resources, kailangan yung mga authoritative sources. Again, sa internet, you are not sure kung yung nada-download mo are authoritative. Maraming mga fake na-upload or hindi authoritative yung sources. Okay, next issue is reorganization. So once you establish or develop an e-library, there might be a need to create a new unit or section or a department to focus specifically on the management, acquisitions, and promotion of e-resources. Okay, so it's very important kasi malaking task yun yung pagmamanage ng e-resources. So ideally, especially in bigger libraries, you have to at least assign people or a group, no, to manage your e-resources. Okay, and in connection to that, yung staff development is also important. So meaning your staff, your librarians must be well equipped, no, and trained, no, in managing your e-resources. So they need to be retooled, no, to upgrade their competencies, to gain more knowledge on or about managing e-resources. And in some cases, there's a need to create new positions like an e-resources librarian. So sa abroad, maraming positions na e-resources librarian. And in some libraries din naman sa Pilipinas, I believe, have adopted this one. So siguro hindi lang officially yun yung title, but as or in terms of the role they perform, ginagawa nila ito yung a job of an e-resource librarian. Okay. Also, there's a cost implication. Syempre, if you build an e-library, you need to subscribe to e-resources, and e-services, which is of course very expensive. So, isa yan sa mga kailangang i-budget. And somehow you also need to acquire the hardware or software, depende dun sa type ng collection na i-include nyo sa inyong e-library. Okay, if you are, for instance, providing access to media files, no, kailangan nyo ng hardware to store the digital images, and then the software to host a digital library, for instance, no, to be able to stream media content, no, to your users. Okay, syempre maintenance cost is always there. So kung may hardware and software, merong maintenance cost yan. Okay, then lastly, usage or utilization. So you have to be aware of how much users are using or utilizing your electronic resources or your e-content. So you have to monitor the usage. And if you see na mababa ang usage for a particular resource, you have to develop then some marketing strategies, no, promoting the e-resources and services to your users, no, para ma-maximize. So that is the job of the library, no, and it should be part of the information literacy program, no, to be able to market and promote your e-resources and e-services, to be able to maximize the use of your e-library. Okay, so I guess that covers all. So that ends my presentation. If you have some questions, please feel free to post them. Thank you.
Ayan. So, thank you so much, Sir Chito. Ayan, may mga questions na pong nakalagay sa Q&A button, Sir Chito, pero mamaya po natin yan sasagutin during our Q&A portion.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Ayan. So, tapos na tayo sa unang session natin. I mean, first part of our session. Okay, and how are you guys? Kumusta po ang inyong pakikinig? Ayan, marami po tayong natutunan, ano po. So, it's safe to say na ang e-library is not the same with a digital library. Ayan, okay, so ready na tayo makinig sa pangalawa? Okay, so sinimulan ni Sir Chito ng very informative. Okay, at ngayon naman ang susunod. Okay, so our second speaker is the Chief of the Bibliographic Services Division or BSD of the National Library of the Philippines. She is a licensed librarian with over 21 years of experience in library and information science, planning, monitoring and evaluation, project management, and others. Let us welcome our second speaker, Jennifer B. Dimasaka, Chief Librarian 4 of the Bibliographic Services Division of NLP. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, everyone. Let me share my screen. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
You. Good morning to all of you, Director Richard Borges, Chairman Antonio Yap, Sir Tito Angeles, Sir Alan Taule. First, I would like to thank the Science and Technology Information Institute of the Department of Science and Technology and the Vita and Caterina Yap Foundation, Philippine Innovation Month Organizing Committee for inviting to be one of the resources speakers in today's event. Secondly, it gives me great pleasure to share with you my data mining research and experiences. Together, let's hit mother load and strike gold. My topic is Digital Gold Mine, discovering education resources on the web. So I have outlined my presentation of that of a mining cycle. I will be presenting an introduction and the mining industry, which operates through a sequence of stages: the exploration, discovery, development, production, reclamation, and I will be showing you also some references, conclusion. So early discoveries of gold relied on the flying luck of someone spotting a yellow glint in his ring or in the graphic. But search today is more systematic and precise. Like in the old days when we are using catalog cards to search for the resources in the library, nowadays that we have an educational resources online, there are more systematic and precise ways. So our goal is to inform participants about the advantages and create your own electronic library, and it's possible. You can build customized learning center that fits your client's requirements and interests by selecting and arranging online resources, including ebooks, articles, videos, instructional websites, which foster self-directed learning, an essential ability in the digital era, in addition to facilitating ongoing education and skill improvement. So, style learning varies from one person to another. May mga tao na mas mabilis sila matuto using videos. Meron namang iba na they are more into books, reading books before they can learn something. So, then e-libraries are venue for that. Kagaya na nabanggit kanina ni Sir Chito, na-differentiate natin what is digital library and e-library. So may I see our heart react if you have your e-library? Can I see heart react if you have your e-library? So masyado nakikita yung mga reaction. And sino naman po ang meron digital library? Let me see thumbs up. So, alam natin ang difference between digital library and so, sabi nga, librarians, makikita nyo dito sa gilid ng slide, these are what my friends think I do. Nakaupo, and then nagbabantay ng mga books. What my parents think I do is we teach children. What society thinks I do is nagpapatahimik lang tayo ng mga kliyente. What my boss thinks I do is chill. Yan. Pero syempre hindi naman lahat. And what I think I do is para tayo mga treasure hunter. And what I actually do is looking for resources with some sort of similar faces in the So searching the internet is like drinking water from a fire hose. The torrent of information is more than you could possibly swallow. So ganun po kadami yung mga information that we have in the internet. Thus, the internet has revolutionized education by providing digital content like ebooks, online journals, educational videos, interactive music. These resources complement traditional learning, promote personal development, and provide flexibility in learning style. So regardless of socioeconomic background, these affordable materials are accessible anytime, anywhere, and have equal chances. Libraries can assist patrons in selecting suitable materials. Okay. So what is digital gold mines? Kanina nabanggit din ito ni Sir Chito, the big data. Big data is like digital gold mine of our time. It is the collection, storage, and analysis of vast, unorganized information from various sources, facilitated by the internet and modern technology. We can think that we are actually in a gold mine, but in reality, we have just discovered quartz. In the internet, we have a lot of information available in our fingertips, but that doesn't mean that it is a gold or it is a resources that fit our So our digital universe currently, all the data that we create and share is growing constantly, 40% per year. When stacked on top of each other, so as you can see in this, when stacked on top of each other, they would reach the moon more than 6.5 times. So ganun po kadami yung ating mga digital resources available in the internet. And there are 5.16 billion internet users versus the population of 64.4%. And if you know that there are 207 million content creators worldwide, furthermore, a significant number of non-professional creators may choose at some point to monetize their content or to move from very part-time creating to something more serious. This is a significant growth area in terms of internet-based stuff. So as you can see, marami yung mga vloggers natin ngayon na nag-generate ng income through videos that they have uploaded in Facebook Reels, in YouTube, and other internet platforms. So now let us discuss the digital mining project. Okay, first is exploration. Exploration is education is crucial in today's digital age as it unlocks potential and creates opportunity. So in creating your e-library or our e-library, we have to first conduct a survey. So exploration, it is crucial to conduct surveys to identify relevant prospects and institutions that offer valuable educational success. Kagaya na nabanggit kanina ng ating first speaker, e-library, you can just provide links to different resources available in the internet, provided that the links that you provide is not a fake resources or it is a reliable resource. Okay. So in conducting surveys, first is to identify and understand the needs and preferences of the target. The problem with having an e-library nowadays is that we want to maximize all the resources and providing such information that is needed by your target audience. For example, I've seen our participants that we have mga theology institution, merong mga school libraries, and merong mga academic libraries. So first, we have to identify what is the needs and preferences of our target audience to be able to come up with a good e-library and a reliable and credible e-library. Next is to identify new resources. To build an e-library, educators or us librarians should conduct thorough research on digital resources like ebooks, journals, video streams, audiobooks, and online databases and tools. They can use search engines like Google Scholar and explore educational websites. Social media platforms nowadays like Twitter and LinkedIn can be used to stay updated on developments and connect with other educators. As you can see, Twitter and LinkedIn may mga account na yung mga academic institution that provides information about the available resources that we have and also the recent updates in the technology. And social media also has become a crucial tool in education, in teachers and students to connect and collaborate. And they can form online study groups and share knowledge. Thus, the internet offers various online tools for learning, such as educational games and quizzes. However, we must guide students in navigating the digital world, teaching them to validate information and distinguish reliable from unreliable and develop critical thinking. Next is we have to identify the tools for identifying new digital resources and enhancing the educational methods. They help institutions identify popular resources such as online learning platforms and massive open line courses that facilitates the integration of these resources. Additionally, survey can help us identify potential partnerships and collaborations, allowing for sharing of resources, expertise, and a wider range of educational methods. One e-library na napuntahan ko is that they have this part in their e-library na may mga speakers sila. It's a micro-learning resources. It is a video of 5 to 10 minutes of teaching, for example, how to navigate the search engine for a particular database, and also other topics that have 5-10 minutes videos. Yes.
Ma'am Jennifer, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Pwede pong lakasan ng konti po yung audio niyo po.
Okay. Hindi ako narinig.
Thank you
Yan.
po.
Clear na. Clear na?
Yes, ma'am. May ilalakas pa po ba yan, ma'am?
Wala na. Eto.
Ayan, ma'am.
Okay, sige.
Closer. Ayan, yes,
Ipit ko
ma'am.
na lang.
Sige po. Thank you so much po.
Okay, yan. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So, massive open online courses or ay ginagamit for quality education to students worldwide. These are providing access to diverse topics like programming, coding, history, and literature. So if you are thinking of an e-library that will facilitate quality education to your students, you can also provide links of these books or yung mga free or minimally priced mga online courses. Isa sa mga nakita ko na mga online courses I attended also is the Sparta of the Development Academy of the Philippines. The Sparta is in open online courses on data analytics. Has the pathways of data analyst, data steward, data engineering, etc. So, yun yung mga pwede natin ilagay na mga link doon sa ating mga resources. So, yun. Another is for you to be able to explore the online platforms, learning platforms like Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy for educational resources to stay updated. And we have to delve deeper to uncover hidden gems. In searching the internet, there are a lot of resources that we can find that are basically hidden in our ever-evolving education landscape. Thus, it ensures that institutions stay updated and provide relevant educational materials, ensuring a comprehensive understanding of the service landscape. So discovery happens when something of value is found. Okay. For the internet, these are the data of why or the main reasons for using the internet. On top of the list is finding information and stay in touch with friends. You can see finding information, the major reasons why people use the internet. Next is discovery. So the internet has significantly impacted education, making it easier to access information. However, finding high-quality resources can be challenging due to the overwhelming amount of information available. Thus, e-library serves as the fieldwork which involves physically visiting educational sources that is crucial for discovering valuable. It will allow our researchers to assess the relevance, accuracy, credibility, and ensure the best use of resources. So visiting, exploring various educational sources such as websites and online platforms and databases. The internet has transformed the way we access information, making it easily available at our fingertips. That accuracy, relevance, and credibility of the website is our duties and responsibilities in creating our own. And of course, it involves investment and planning. Like Sir Chito have mentioned a while ago, having an e-library is will require time, effort, and resources, and requires a well thought out plan and institutional support. It involves investment and planning. Next is development. So we should conduct feasibility studies first in creating our own e-library. Have to have detailed analysis of the current educational system, existing technology, and resources. Advancement in technology are rapidly changing education, leading to a focus on developing digital gold mines in the sector. These gold mines use digital resources and platforms for accessing, creating, and sharing knowledge. So, kagaya ng nabanggit kanina, hindi lang to, pagkakaroon ng e-library ay hindi na pag-digitize ng sarili natin collection. Also, we can also use providing links to other resources that can part of our service. We have to
Jennifer.
analyze. Yes po.
Wala. Yes, ma'am. Okay lang po bang hawakan nyo near your...
Sige. Hawakan ko na. Thank you.
Thank you po.
So, in the development, we have to identify the requirements and the challenges. So we have to identify what are the risks and opportunities in creating an e-library. Without proper feasibility studies, the process of developing digital gold mines may result in failure due to lack of appropriate resources or insufficient understanding of the needs of the education sector. And next is we have to construct platforms or systems to access and utilize the resources. This includes building computer laboratories, internet connectivity, and online learning platform. Without proper infrastructure, resources are wasted, wasting time and resources. I remember when we are having the quality assurance of the digitized collections of the National Library during the Philippine e-library project. Checking on the quality of the digitized resources are time-consuming. We have to check the quality of the resources being digitized to be able to use it in our e-library or the Philippine e-library. Thus, investment on creating an e-library is also high. An institution must stay updated on technological advancements to discover innovative educational resources, attending conferences, workshops, and webinars to learn about the latest tools and techniques in education. The development of digital gold mines in our institution involves feasibility studies, platform construction, and resource utilization. These processes ensure the effective use of digital resources, making knowledge accessible to a broader population and keeping up with the technological advancement to prepare our clients for the future. Ma'am Merly is raising her hand. Ma'am Merly. Next is production. The value of these resources lies just in their abundance, but also in the methods and tools used to extract and process them effectively. So if we are going to provide links in other library resources, we also have to check its accuracy. For example, there are websites that may be available today, but on the next day, the URL is not okay. So the e-library providing links to those institution also needs an updates for, or we need to extract these resources. So there are tools that you can use in extracting resources. Web scrapers, which crawl through websites and extract specific information according to the predefined rules. Also, the application programming interfaces or API and data mining. APIs enable communication between software applications, facilitating structured data extraction from education platforms, allowing developer to access resources in structured manner. While data mining techniques uses algorithms and statistical models to analyze large data sets, extract valuable information, and improve teaching methods and instructional designs in education by analyzing performance, learning, and learning behavior. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, if you are using Facebook and may mga bagay kayo na sinesearch sa Facebook, sa mga susunod na araw, lumalabas na yung pare-parehas na mga sites sa ating Facebook. For example, if you are searching for a property, for example, you are searching for a property in Quezon City this day, the Facebook will automatically provides you with different links of properties, not only in Quezon City, but in other areas, because these are provided with the data mining techniques that uses the information that we inject in our search engines and provide us with informations. Then natural language processes and machine learning algorithms are used to extract textual data from digital resources like ebooks, articles, and research papers. Natural language processing is like an indexing in our library field. It analyzes human language, while machine learning efficiently categorizes and organizes the extracted data, ensuring easy accessibility and usability of education resources. Thus, in production, we use various tools and technologies to extract and process resources. Process and organize extracted data for easy accessibility and usability. We can also provide e-resources. For example, you will digitize an entire book. Of course, taking into consideration the copyright, the economic, and moral rights of an author. You can have the first 2 pages or the table of contents of the book, providing information of what is the content of that particular book, and a researcher can request for a particular chapter of that book that you can provide them through an email. So this one are one of the services in our e-library service, and enable the creation of learning analytics. Learning analytics are data we use to extract data to check on the students' behavior, academic performance, improving teaching and learning outcomes. So these are the major sources used for accessing open access resources. Our Open Textbook Library, DOAP, DOAJ, Project Gutenberg, ERIC, Google Books, DList Database, PubMed Central, OpenThesis, and many others. I would like to share with you this major open access resources that is available on the internet. So this one, can you see my screen? Nakikita po ba?
Yes, ma'am. Open textbook library.
Okay. Naka-open po is the open textbook. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this one is the open textbook library, which you can browse by subject, about open textbook, submit discovery, and open education network. So these are the resources. They have here the new books and the coming soon that you can add to you, add this link to your e-library. Another one is the Directory of Open Access, or the DOAB. So DOAB, these are also digitized or digital collections of ebooks. Another one is the digital directory of open access journals. So this one is for journals and articles. The OAPEN, online library of open access books. The Project Gutenberg, ERIC. Also, we have Filipiniana collections in Filipinas Heritage, UP Diliman, and National Library of the Philippines. So for the National Library of the Philippines, our website is web.nlp.gov.ph, and you can check on the e-resources under resources. We have here digital collections and NLP e-resources and the Philippine e-library. So in here, in digital collections, so these are our digital collections, the Techno Aklat, and these are digitized collection of the National Library. Most of these are public domain. While the NLP e-resources portal are we have here OLA, Online Library Assistance, where you can chat our librarians and ask for questions. So we have here different takes to other institution like KWF, Diksyonaryo ng Wikang Filipino, World Health Organization, UNESCO Digital Library, UCL Publications, Philippine Institute for Development Studies, Socioeconomic Research, United Nations Digital Library, virtual references, and other resources. We also have subscriptions to various databases that you can access for free, but you have to create your own account. So we have here a video on how to use this e-resources portal. So this is the 4 dimensions of digital learning resources, quality, model by Moti et al. So how do we identify what resources should be included in our e-library? First is the identification and presentation of the product as to its academic quality, pedagogical quality, didactic quality, and technical quality. For the academic quality, we should take into consideration the criteria on the information reliability. How reliable are the resources to be provided in our e-library portal? Then information relevance. So taking into consideration our target audience, what are their needs and preferences? Pedagogical formulation, construction, and strategies and assessment methods. And for the didactic quality, learning activities and learning contents. For the technical quality, the design, browsing, and technological ingenuity. Next is reclamation. While digital gold mines or online learning platforms have gained popularity due to technology and internet access, these platforms offer a vast array of digital resources, including ebooks, webinars, courses, and tutorials, accessible anytime and anywhere. However, these resources require constant updating and maintenance, impacting the environment and sustainability. So reclamation is crucial for digital gold mine operation due to the growing electronic waste generated due to shorter device lifespans. So if we are saving our digital collections in, for example, in a hard drive, may mga lifespans lang to mga hard drive na to. It's not forever na magagamit natin. And this electronic waste contributes in the toxic chemicals and heavy metals that can harm environment and ecosystem preservation. Thus, reclamation in digital content creation ensures long-term sustainability of resources like metals, minerals, and fossil fuels. These digital resources can also create value by repurposing educational materials for different purposes, or expanding the reach and potential customer base on the digital gold mines. For example, you have your digital content in a ebook. You can repackage it or you can repurpose it by using an audiobook, or they converting it to a audiobook. So that resources can be repurposed to be able to use by other clients. And closure plans and strategies to ensure sustainability and long-term value. Digital gold mine evokes images of prosperity and abundance. However, these digital resources are not infinite and require continuous updating and maintenance. The Keepers Registry, founded by Peter Burnhill at ITINA, is a mass portal for ISSN level journals preservation status, which is hosted by the International Standard Serial Number International Center, that has a challenging due to lack of API, automatic query, and item level. There are various resources that have digital collections, which is preserved in different databases or different institutions. For example, this one, Internet Archive, is a non-profit library of millions of free books, movies, software, music, websites, and more. So these are under the Keepers Registry, founded by the Peter Burnhill and now being handled by the ISSN International Center. We also have clocks. This one is also, you can also use this link, Scholar Spot portal. You can see here the persons, how many resources they have. And EBOLS is an open access digital institutional repository for the University of Hawaii community and researchers around the world. I see this one relevant in our Asia collection. And Aquino Philippine Studies Digital Collection, South Asia, Southeast Asia collection. Also, the University of Michigan Library They have here different collections, and most of these collections are also they also have Philippine collection here, photographs. So in conclusion, building an e-library is crucial for institutions in the digital age, offering a diverse learning experience by researching, leveraging social media, exploring online platforms, collaborating, and staying updated. Institutions can discover valuable resources and prepare clients for the digital world. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals emphasize quality education and lifelong learning for global transformation by 2030. Libraries provide information while the internet has revolutionized education by providing vast resources and breaking barriers. Digital gold mines empower individuals for continuous learning and professional development. So these are my references. Also, the links for different resources that you can use for your e-library. Thank you.
Yan, thank you so much, Ma'am Jennifer. Ayan, pwede ba nating paulanan ng puso si Ma'am Jennifer? Yan. So gusto ko lang pong ulitin yung isa sa mga binanggit ni Ma'am kanina. Sabi niya, building an e-library is crucial for institutions in the digital age, offering a diverse learning experience. So by researching, leveraging social media, exploring online platforms, collaborating, and staying updated, institutions can discover valuable resources and prepare clients for the digital world. Ayan. So, tama nga naman. No? We leverage on social media, especially kasi ito yung pinakagamitin ngayon ng mga kabataan. No? And ang nagiging challenge natin when it comes to social media, lahat nakapost doon. So, kailangan nating ma-empower yung ating mga clients to check on the reliability of those materials being posted in the social media. Ayan. So, bigyan natin ng palakpak ang ating dalawang speaker. And magsisimula na po tayo sa pagsagot ng ating mga questions na posted by our participants. Okay. So again, kung may mga katanungan po kayo, paki-chat lang sa ating mga nasa FB Live. Ayan. You can just comment your question and we will answer that later. Okay, so Sir Chito and Ma'am Jennifer, ayan, magsisimula na po tayo sa ating question and answer. Unahin po natin, question po for Sir Chito. Ayan. Ang tanong po ni Ma'am Elden Valencia is, what are the disadvantages of e-library? What is the difference between virtual library and electronic library? Sir Chito?
Yes, for the first question, yung disadvantage, I think I've mentioned about the maintenance. So high maintenance yan, syempre, especially if you are subscribing to various e-resources. And I also mentioned in the challenges the need for staff with the competencies in managing the e-resources. So ilan lang yun sa mga disadvantages. But I'm hoping overweigh siya ng advantages. But anyway, for the second question, ano nga ba regarding Sorry, I lost the question.
Sir, the difference between virtual library and electronic library.
Okay, when you say virtual library, basically it's just a platform. No,
Mhm.
wala siyang physical. Unlike an e-library may have a physical version. So, of course, yung halimbawa print na kinonvert mo into digital or electronic format through digitization, it becomes part of your e-library. 'Di ba? Sa virtual purely access through the internet, no, or through an application accessible on the web. So that would be the main difference.
Ayan. So, thank you so much, Sir Chito. Medyo marami yung mga questions. So, let's try to answer as much as we can. Okay, next po, kay Sir Chito pa din po, from Sir Lito Lacaba Jr. For us who wants to establish an e-library, can you give us an insight and tips to ensure compliance with copyright laws when managing and providing access to digital resources in e-libraries? Sabi niya, so parang related din po ito sa isa pang tanong po. Ang tanong is, how is the copyright law being applied using the controlled digital lending? As a digital lending naman po siya. Yung una naman po is, insight daw po and tips to ensure compliance with copyright laws when managing and providing access to digital resources in libraries, e-libraries.
Okay, so siguro for the insight, just make sure that yung ina-upload nyo in your electronic library that is accessible to the public are free from copyright. No? So, huwag kayong mag-upload kapag copyrighted materials and you don't own the material. Ideally, you upload yung mga institutional publications because it's the publication of your institution. So, syempre, you also need to secure clearance for that. No? Pero just to make sure, do not upload yung mga content that are copyrighted. No? And if you are familiar naman with the copyright laws and in particular yung provision nung fair use, no? So you will know kung anong limitation, ano lang yung pwede at hindi na i-upload. So again, if you share it publicly and copyrighted, syempre it's a clear violation, no, of the copyright laws, and especially if the intention is, for instance, to sell, no, resources online. So yun talaga, mga bawal yun. Okay. So yun, I hope I was able to answer that question. And
Yes, sir.
yung isa naman regarding sa controlled digital lending, no. So actually based din yung practice na yun sa existing copyright laws, no. And wala namang violation if for instance yung available copies mo, as I explained earlier, dalawa lang yung print copy mo. So if you digitize your print copy in a controlled digital lending environment, kung ilan yung physical copy mo, yun lang din ang allowed na ipahiram mo in your digital lending platform. So pag na-maximize na yon, hindi mo na pwedeng ipahiram yung print mo kung dalawang digital copies na ang currently on loan doon sa iyong users, no? So of course it's the lookout of the librarian, no, to monitor kung ilan, kasi syempre magkaiba yung digital tsaka print eh. So it should not be abused. And again, monitoring of the number of copies being loaned, no, to your users is very important for the library. In fact, sa ibang bansa nagagawa naman yun eh. So especially in the US, and to think yung copyright laws sa Pilipinas halos yun din yung basis natin, no? So yung US copyright law actually nadapt lang din natin yun eh. Kung titignan ninyo. So if they are able to implement it in the libraries in the US, so why not dito sa Pilipinas? Thank you.
Ayan, thank you so much, Sir Chito. So basically, pareho lang din how we observe yung copyright law sa ating physical na materials, no, doon sa ating electronic library. Ayan. Okay. Ayan, next question. Ay, Ma'am Jen, you might have an insight also on that aspect.
Sir, for
Ma'am
copyright.
Jen. Ma'am Jen.
Hindi naman ako narinig. Yan. So, sa copyright, we have to consider the moral rights and economic rights of an author doon sa mga resources na ina-upload natin. That's why the digital rights management in databases are available. For example, kung ang binayaran lang ng institution is read-only, kaya yung ISBN of these resources varies because of the use of this resource.
So ayun, importante din yan, moral rights and economic rights of authors. Ayan, tatandaan po natin yan. Okay, thank you Ma'am Jen for that very important insight also. Next, ayan, medyo marami, so let's try na makapili. Okay, once again, the recordings of our webinar will be, or the link of the recordings of this webinar will be sent to your email addresses po. And to the email address that you're going to provide mamaya po when answering the evaluation form. Okay? Okay, next po is how eLibrary can access, baka po pareho nyo na po itong masasagot. How eLibrary can access, especially in remote places. We know na hindi lahat may connection. So, did you think na 100% effect pa din in terms of accessing the information sa electronic library? Yan, Sir Chito.
Okay, well, I understand yung issue ng digital divide, ano? Some libraries in the remote areas medyo disadvantaged talaga when it comes to accessing resources online. So, meron din namang way to address that. For instance, yung project ng DOST na Starbucks, 'di ba? Yung Starbucks offline, pwede siyang mag-function as a standalone, meaning even if it's not connected to the internet, you can still download and use resources available dun sa e-library ng Starbucks. So I think that model is applicable to libraries in the remote areas. So pwedeng i-adapt yun. And yeah, baka you can explain further yung concept nyo of the Starbucks, which is possibly a solution to address the digital divide. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you, Sir Chito. And yes, indeed, yung ating Starbucks is an electronic library that's available online and offline. So, yung offline version po, ito po yung mga ini-install namin sa lahat ng mga areas na walang internet connection. This is a free electronic library. Yung database po, ibibigay po namin ng libre sa inyo. Kung interested po kayo. Ang counterpart lang po ng requesting organization or school is the hardware, since hindi po kasama sa project budget natin yung hardware. But installation, training, ayan, libre po lahat yon. Ibibigay po yon ng DOST STII. So if you're interested, just send an email at starbucks@stii.dost.gov.ph. Ayan, ibibigay po sa inyo lahat ng details doon. Bibigyan din po kayo ng brochure on how to avail and what are the specifications na kakailanganin for the hardware po. Ayan. Okay, Ma'am Jen, may idadagdag po ba kayo?
Yes po. For the National Library of the Philippines, in our public libraries, affiliated public libraries, we provide a computer with the electronic resources of it. Dina-download na namin yung mga resources ito. Nakasama doon sa package na binibili namin for the electronic resources. Kumbaga, yung e-books na to ay nakapasok na doon sa kanila computer na binibigay kasama dun sa allocation na sa public libraries. And I think the Tekno-Aklatan can be also uploaded doon sa mga remote areas natin since the collections are public domains naman. So you can also ask for the National Library to have for you to have a copy of it. Also, we have a project with DICT, the Tech for Ed, which includes the Tekno-Aklatan as well.
Ayan. So, we have projects na pwede nyo pong ma-avail both with the National Library of the Philippines and the DOST STII for electronic libraries. And ayun, free po yun. Okay. So, and kung gusto niyo din pong i-emulate yung ganitong structure or ganitong model, baka kayo po mismo sa inyong mga institutions, if you are capable enough and you have the resources, para mas marami tayong magawa na electronic library na makakatulong doon sa mga nasa remote areas na may limitations on internet connectivity. Yan. Okay, so next question po. Still on copyright law, regarding sa copyright law, is it okay na mag-produce ng 2 copies sa book pero library use only? So, isang book lang siya, tapos i-reproduce nila for ng 2 copies, tapos yun yung papagamit sa library. Okay lang daw po ba yun?
If I may answer that, I think in sa fair use allowed naman to for libraries to create a preservation copy. Pero yun nga, it's just for preservation. So hindi siya dapat sinaservice.
Yun. Okay, so hindi dapat siya sin-service. For preservation lang siya. Ma'am Jen?
Unless yung gusto nating i-reproduce ay out of the market na or out of print, yun, po pwede. Pero kung hindi, at kailangan i-exhaust muna natin all the resources where to have a copy of it. If we can contact the publisher, the author, bago tayo mag-reproduce. Kasi pagdating sa end, kahit na may fair use, kagaya na nabanggit ko, sir, pag sinabi natin fair use for library use or for preservation lang, pwede natin gawin.
So, for preservation lang talaga. Okay. Next, Sir Chito po, in the programming part, how does a discovery service work? Does subscribing to online databases grant access to their APIs?
How does discovery service work? Basically, if you are subscribed to an e-database or an e-journal, so yung discovery service will index yung mga subscribed e-resources mo so that the searching will be really fast, and again it will consolidate all the results in just a single search, single page or interface. When it comes to API, so I'm not sure, depende yan dun sa provider, no. Some providers or vendors, they allow you to use their APIs, no, to connect to the databases or to the discovery service itself. So again, you have to ask the vendor or the service provider if that is available. And you also have to check, of course, yung license agreement. If the license agreement permits using the APIs, no, for other purposes.
So, Depende, Sir Chito, no?
Yes,
Dun
so
sa... Okay. Ayan, may nagtataas po ng kamay sa ating mga participants. Pwede po ba natin silang bigyan ng chance to talk? Can we allow? Ayan, allow to talk. Ma'am Chona, you can turn on your mic po if you have a question. Ma'am Chona, naka-allow na po kayo to talk. You can open your mic po. Wala siyang mic. Okay. Ayan, so Ma'am Chona, sige, sorry since wala po kayong mic, pwede niyo pong i-chat na lang if you have questions. Ano po? Ayan. Okay, next question po. Ang next question po natin ay, ito po, Sir Chito, or pareho po kayo ni Ma'am Jen pala, should a library be referred to as an e-library or digital library given it still has a collection of paper-based materials?
I think I mentioned that earlier na yung e-library could be a combination of print and digital. Whereas pag sinabi mong digital library, it's purely digital or electronic yung content. So kung meron kang print collection, actually hybrid ang tawag dun eh, pero it's still e-library, no? Kasi because you provide access to the electronic resources kahit meron ka pa rin ng print collection.
Okay. And Ma'am Jen, meron po ba kayong input?
Yes, I think yung e-library ay mas appropriate gamitin if you maintain both digital and printed. Also, I would like to add yung data analysis namin itong mga nakaraan that the National Library, dumadami yung nag-visit sa amin, pero kaunti yung nanghihiram ng libro. So meaning, libraries are used in other means. Yung physical na pag-visit sa National Library ay hindi lang sa paghiram ng mga libro. So nagkakaroon na siya ng ibang services na ginagamit ng mga clients natin. And mataas yung aming resources, e-resources na utilization. So ibig sabihin, yung pumupunta sa National Library physically ay hindi para lang manghiram ng libro, kundi may iba silang pakay sa National Library. And yung increase naman doon sa paggamit ng mga e-resources would mean that mas widely used na yung mga e-resources natin. But isa sa nakita naming problem with collections that we have is limited yung Filipiniana resources. Even when I was conducting my research, kakaunti yung local studies natin on various topics. So kaya yan yung mga isa sa mga dapat natin din maging effort in our institution to produce Filipiniana collections.
Oo nga po. And speaking of Filipiniana collection, Sir Chito, yung mga nasa Philippine eLive po ba, downloadable po ba yung mga resources na nandun?
Yes, open access na yung sa Philippine eLive. So lahat ng resources na nandun can be downloaded for free.
So for free. Okay. At least may maidadagdag na po ulit tayo sa ating mga library resources. Ayan. And speaking of open access resources po, ang tanong po from Lasal Academy, may I ask a question regarding open access resources? Is it okay to download for any device?
When you say open access kasi, meron din siyang usually kasamang licensing agreement or license, no? Halimbawa yung Creative Commons, it's commonly applied to open access e-resources. So you have to check din kung ano yung pwede at hindi pwedeng gawin based dun sa license na kasama nung e-resource, no? But in most cases, that would be allowed, no? If you download, again, if it's for personal use, hindi naman siya i-distribute or i-sell, I think wala namang magiging problema. But the best is again to check kung ano yung naka-indicate dun sa license as part of the resource.
Ma'am Jen? Ma'am Jen, naka-mute po kayo.
I'm looking at the Creative Commons na mga icons that you can use. Share ko na lang yung link. Dito makikita ninyo, for example, licenses niya ay CC by ESA, etc. Nandoon nakalagay what are allowed doon sa mga resources. Ano yung mga licenses na po pwede natin gamitin. Share ko yung link later.
Sige ma'am. Sige ma'am. Thank you po. And speaking of, nanghihingi po kasi sila nung inyong references po kanina. So I would like to take this opportunity to ask po, both of you po, if we can send a copy of your presentation to all our participants.
Yes, we'll email na lang po kay Miss Daniela.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure,
so much. Thank you po. Ayan. And ayan, speaking of library collection pa din po, can the collection in the e-library be counted as part of the library holdings? Since the titles can be in a combination of print and electronic formats as stated in CMO number 22, series of 2021.
Ako, I think yes, yung answer dyan. So it can be part of the collection. So tama, nandoon naman yun sa guidelines. I just don't have a copy. Pero I think I read that somewhere. Merong certain percentage for electronic resources at saka yung print counterpart.
Okay, so pasok naman din sila. Both the print and electronic formats. Ayan, and due to, the interest of time, isa na lang pong question para sa ating, sa dalawa po nating speaker. So, sabi po sa chat ni Miss Ann Paula, ayan, sabi niya, our institution produces scan or print copies of the journal table of contents in the article as evidence for accreditation. I informed the management about this, but no avail. What measures can you suggest po to address this issue? Bili na lang sila. Parang napakadali sabihin. Ayan, Sir Chito, Ma'am Jen?
Sorry, hindi ko masyadong nakuha yung question.
Ang question po nila is, yung nare-reproduce daw po yung journal, yung table of contents, tsaka articles within the journal as evidence for accreditation. And na-inform naman na daw yung management about this, but no avail. So ano daw po yung measures that you can suggest to address the issue?
Nare-reproduce?
Nire-reproduce po nila. So I think if I understood it right, parang opo, wala sa kanila yung material.
Okay. Actually, common concern yan, no, for libraries. Hindi naman talaga natin mapupulis yung mga users who are actually creating copies or even distributing copies sa ibang tao. But for me, I think it's not the responsibility of the libraries to monitor yung ganong mga illegal practices. So ang job ng librarians to provide access to the resources to our users as wider as possible. So it's actually the responsibility of the users to be wary of the limitations, the copyright laws, and other related laws, when it comes to reproduction or distribution of copyrighted materials.
Jen, nakamute po kayo.
Apo, nagsisist kasi yung responsibility ng library once na nagpahiram tayo ng resources. For example, we provide a digital copy of a resource. For example, halimbawa, yung isang client natin, 10% ngayon ang hiramin niya, then susunod na araw, another 10%, hanggang mabuo niya yung book. Yung responsibility natin as a library natatapos kapag nagpahiram tayo. Kung ano man yung gagawin ng client natin doon sa pinahiram natin sa kanila, it's their responsibility.
Yes. So,
Kasi
yung mga
hindi
natin makontrol.
Yeah, hindi natin makakontrol. Even before na merong printed tapos may photocopying machine the library, ang gagawin ng mga clients natin, for example, 10 sila. One part sa isa hanggang sa mabuo din nila. So, hindi naman natin mapupulit lahat. So, it's the same case with electronic source.
Agree po. Ayan. So, siguro ang pinakamahalaga po, magawa natin yung part natin, mabigyan natin sila ng orientation on the do's and don'ts, and then on copyright law. So, basically, nag-orient naman po tayo sa ating mga clients, especially kung bago sila sa ating library. So, in-orient natin kung ano yung mga rules, policies, guidelines, ganon. Even in school libraries, sa school libraries, at least you are given a chance to orient the students at the beginning of the school year, usually ganon. That was my experience when I was in a school library and in a university. Ini-invite kaming mag-talk. So it would be nice to use that platform also to inform our clients of the policies and the copyright law. Yun. Ayan, thank you so much po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, marami pa pong nagtatanong, Sir Chito, Ma'am Jen. Pwede po ba silang mag-direct message sa emails po ninyo?
Yes po.
Ayan, so okay. So, pwede po kayong mag-message kay Ma'am Jen and kay Sir Chito sa mga hindi pa po nasagot na tanong nyo. Okay po? Ayan. So, thank you so much once again, everyone, for your very active participation. Now, let's move on to another exciting part. That's our game time. So, I believe nakinig po kayo lahat kanina dahil marami naman po kayong tanong. So, ngayon naman, ang magtatanong naman po ang ating mga speakers. Ayan. So, may na-ready po ba kayong tanong, Sir Chito and Ma'am Jen? Wala pa. Ayan. Sige, sir. Mag-isip po muna kayo ng itatanong po ninyo. Ayan. Okay. So, ano po ba yung mapapanalunan ninyo na souvenir items from DOST STII? Okay. So, wait. Makikita ba to? Ayan. So, this is one. Okay. Meron tayong t-shirt na may branding guidelines. So, yung mga promotional materials po namin, ginagamitan pa din po namin ng branding guideline. Okay, so meron po kayo or makakatanggap po kayo ng t-shirt. Ayan, yung house and lot, drawing muna. Okay, sabi ni Daniel Romero, nakinig ako kaso meron memory gap. Okay. Ayan. Okay, so ito po ang mechanics ng ating laro. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so ang mechanics natin ay call the number that will be displayed on the screen and provide the correct answer to the question that will be asked by our speaker. Ayan. Sir Chito, may naka-ready na po kayo? May naisip na po kayong itatanong?
Sige.
Ayan,
Meron.
meron na. Okay, so, okay. Next slide na tayo. Okay, ito po yung number na tatawagan po ninyo pagkatapos po ng tanong ni Sir Chito. Okay, so ang tanong, Sir Chito?
Okay, so ang question is, what are the major components of an electronic library? Again, what are the major components of an electronic library?
Okay, so what are the major components daw? Okay. Let's see. Hello? Good morning. Good morning po. Sino po sila?
This is Sir Julius po from the Provincial Library of Laguna.
Okay, from La Union. Nainbangag sapa kada kayo dita. Okay, so ano pong sagot nila, sir?
I believe that the major components of an electronic library includes resources. First, second are the services, and finally, the technological infrastructure.
Ayan. So, tama po ba, Sir Chito?
Yes,
Resources, services, and technological infrastructure.
that's correct.
Ayan. Congratulations, sir. Ayan. Please send your details, sir, dito po sa number na to. For us to get in touch with you for your prize po. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so next naman po, ang magtatanong, okay, mag-iiba po tayo ng number. Okay. Ang magtatanong naman po sa susunod ay si Ma'am Jen. Pero ang sasagot naman po dito ay, nakita mo ba? Yung mga, let's see, let's check. Okay, so ang magtatanong po ay si Ma'am Jen.
Question is, what is the sequence of stages in the digital mining cycle?
Okay. Ano nga po ulit, Ma'am Jen?
What is the sequence of stages in the digital mining cycle?
Okay, what is the stages of the
Digital mining cycle.
digital mining sample? Ayan. So, ang tatawagan niyo pong number ay, ayan. Ito po. Ayan, next slide tayo. Okay, so ito po ang tatawagan po ninyong number. 0923-958-2384. Okay. Ayan, may tumatawag na. Hello?
Hello, good morning po.
Good morning po. Ano pong pangalan nila?
Christine Monica po from CBSU Naik.
Naik, Cavite. Tama po?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Ayan.
ma'am.
Ayan. Ano pong sagot nila, ma'am?
Ang sagot ko po ay introduction, exploration, discovery, development, production, reclamation, reference, and closing.
Ayan. Tama po ba, Ma'am Jen?
Yes po, sobra pa ma'am. Kasi yung introduction, reference, and closings are additional to the agenda. But correct.
Wow, ang galing. So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, nakinig po talaga siya. Ayan. So, congratulations po, ma'am. Pasend na lang po ng details ninyo po para po we can contact you for your prize po. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po.
Ayan. Okay, so thank you so much po sa inyong lahat. Okay, etong webinar po na ito ay una lamang sa mga maraming webinars po na gagawin natin sa buong taon. Kaya po sa mga hindi nanalo, meron pa po kayong pagkakataong manalo sa aming mga susunod na webinars. Okay po? Ayan. So, again, to all our winners, we will contact you on how you can claim your prizes, provided that you send us your contact details. Okay po? Yan. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa laro. Ngayon naman, next slide please. Okay. Awarding po ng certificates bilang pasasalamat po sa inyong lahat mula sa ating mga resource speakers hanggang sa mga dumalo. Okay, so for our speakers, they will be receiving this certificate, and let me read the citation. Department of Science and Technology, Science and Technology Information Institute, in partnership with Benita and Catalino Yap Foundation, or BCYF, presents this certificate of appreciation to Chito and Angeles for sharing his knowledge and insights as resource speaker for the DOST STI Library webinar in partnership with BCYF, titled Taking the Path of Innovation Towards Future-Proof Learning, during the celebration of the 2024 Philippine Innovation Month, held on the 27th of February 2024, live stream via Zoom and Facebook Live, given this 27th day of February 2024. This will be signed, so yung nakikita niyo po unsigned, this will be signed by Richard P. Burgos, Director of the DOST STII, and Antonio S. Yap, Chairman of BCYF. The same certificate of appreciation will be given to Ma'am, okay, next slide po tayo, Ma'am Jennifer Dimasaka. Ayan. So once again, thank you so much, Sir Chito and Ma'am Jennifer, for accepting our invitation to join us in this morning's webinar session. We would like also to give certificate of participation to all our participants. So next slide, please. You will be receiving this certificate after successfully accomplishing the evaluation form. So this certificate of participation is given to for having participated in the DOST STI Library webinar in partnership with BCYF, titled Taking the Path of Innovation Towards Future-Proof Learning, during the celebration of the 2024 Philippine Innovation Month, held on 27th February 2024, live stream via Zoom and Facebook Live, given this 27th day of February 2024. Okay. So at this juncture, okay. Ayan, ito po yung ating mga contact details. Okay, so balik lang tayo sa last. Ayan, contact details. Let's stay connected. So for STII and for BCYF. Ayan, sa mga nagtatanong po ng mga services natin, ayan, maaari po kayong magpadala ng mensahe via email or Facebook Live. Okay. Now, at this point, we will now hear a closing message from the Chief of the Information Resources and Analysis Division, or IRAD, of the DOST STII. Let's welcome Mr. Alan C. Taule. Sir Alan.
Thank you, Irene, and good day to everyone. I would like to express my thanks and appreciation to our participants for attending this webinar, which was held in celebration of the 2024 Philippine Innovation Month. On behalf of the DOST Science and Technology Information Institute, I also wish to recognize the outstanding efforts of the Benita and Catalino Yap Foundation for bringing this event to reality. It was a joy partnering with you in this worthwhile endeavor. So, based on what has been discussed thoroughly in this webinar, It is apparent that innovation plays a part in enhancing human activity, including its role in future-proofing learning. With the rapid pace of technological advancement, it is to our best interest to embrace and leverage new tools and methods to enhance the learning experience, from the development of e-libraries and drawing learning resources on the World Wide Web, as discussed by our excellent resource speakers, Mr. Chito Angeles of the UP Main Library and Ms. Jennifer Dimasaka of the National Library of the Philippines, to the use of online platforms and even virtual reality, which is something that we could explore later down the road. So, in all, we have a widening range of options for creating more engaging and effective learning environments. It must be said, though, that it will never totally replace strong pedagogy and effective teaching practices. We must continue pursuing the best practices in teacher training and professional development to ensure all educators are equipped with the skills and knowledge needed to incorporate today's innovative tools in their teaching. I hold that combining the latest innovations such as digital libraries and e-learning resources with strong teaching practices will lead us toward a future-proof learning environment that prepares students for success in today's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment known simply as VUCA. Thank you all for participating in our webinar. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Ayan, thank you so much for that very enlightening and impactful closing message, Sir Alan. So here now is the link for our evaluation. Okay, next slide po. Okay, the link of the evaluation will be kept open until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So hanggang 5 p.m. lang po. And we'll stay in the comment section of our FB Live so that you can check again by tomorrow. Okay po. So once again, this will be open until 5 o'clock tomorrow. So sa mga kasama po ninyo na hindi natin nakasama ngayon, they can also watch the recordings and answer the evaluation form until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Ayan. Okay, so in closing, let me quote Theodore Epp, who said, "As we trust God to give us wisdom for today's decisions, He will lead us a step at a time into what He wants us to be doing in the future." Once again, this is Miss Irene Alice Brillo, your host, officially signing off.